All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go with our writing and graphing inequality notes, just in case you were not able to make it with us in class. Let me grab the paper because I want to make sure to give you the right essential question. So here we go. All right, our essential question is going to be, how do I use keywords to write an inequality? All right, and as a review, we have our inequalities. They simply mean that one side is larger than another. So how do we use keywords to do that? So to use the following keywords to identify the correct symbol. So we're going to use the keywords to help us identify the correct symbol. First one would be less than, so that's common. We know it looks like this. Some of the keywords that we find where we're doing less than would be is below or fewer than. I'm going to put a star next to the ones that tend to be confusing for students, or they're just not familiar with it. They don't see it often enough to recognize that it means less than. Okay, our next example would be less than or equal to. Notice the small difference in that it can be equal to. So remember, when we were graphing these, this would be a closed circle, because our answer can be the number it's compared to. Some of the phrasing we see with that would be at most and maximum. We also have is no more than. Next symbol is greater than, which looks like this. And we can see that when we use the word above or exceeds. And then finally we have greater than or equal to. Again, this would be a closed circle when graphing, because it can be the number it's compared to. We see this, we use this symbol in reference to at least, minimum, or is no less than. All right, over here on the left hand side we have some of our questions. So let's start. Example A. One forklift can raise a maximum of 2,000 pounds. Write and graph an inequality to describe the number of kilograms the forklift can raise. So we have to do two things. We need to write and graph. Our keyword here would be maximum. Maximum, as we see, means we use less than or equal to. So let's do F for forklift is less than or equal to 2,000 pounds. All right, when we're dealing with less than or equal to, we know it's a closed circle. So we shade that in at 2,000 because 2,000 is part of the solution set. And we're looking for all the numbers that are less than that. So would it be 2,500 or 1,500? You're right. It would be 1,500 is less than that, so it goes towards the left. Next example. In order to ride a roller coaster at the theme park, riders must be at least 52 inches tall. Keywords here, at least. We are to write and graph an inequality to show the safe heights for riders. I'm going to do that over here. We know at least means we're using greater than or equal to. So let's say riders must be greater than or equal to, and it was compared to 52. All right, once again, because it can be 52, that's what the equal to part says. It needs to be a closed circle. And we're looking for all the numbers that are more than 52, which means we go towards 53, 54 to the right. And moving along nicely, example C. Less than 16 students completed the fitness course on their first attempt. Keyword here would be less than, and although it doesn't say graph or right. That's what we're going to do so we can get more practice. Excuse me. Here we go. So we have students being compared to the number 16, and it says less than 16 students actually completed this course on the first attempt. So it's going to be the number of students who completed it are less than 16. All right, so to graph, we're going to put in our scale. Let's put 16 in the middle because that's the number we're comparing everything to. On the right of that, we need a number larger. I'm just going to go with 18. And I need a number smaller, so I'm going to go with 14. And this would be an open circle. Open because it cannot equal 16. So we show that by having an open circle. And now we're looking for all the numbers that are less than 16. And 14 is less than 16, so we move towards it, towards the left. And finally, last, but certainly not least, a passing grade on the quiz was more than, keywords here, more than 8 points. So we have the passing grade, so I'm just going to do G for passing grade. It's compared to 8, and our our keyword was more than, which means G needs to be a bigger number than 8, but notice it doesn't say can be equal to, so it is going to be an open circle. So again, the featured number we're comparing to, 8, goes in the middle. We need a number higher like 10, a number lower like 6, and it's going to be an open circle. And because we're looking for all numbers greater than 8, that means it's moving towards 10 to the right. All right, and that's how we use keywords to help us write and graph inequalities.